Hello, YouTube. This is Cursor Roads, and I am excited for many things. Number one, the Metro North route. By the time you watch this video on YouTube, the Metro North route for MSTS will be released and available on trainsim.com. For those of you who didn't believe me the first time I said it, it will be available on trainsim.com. After 5 years of work, 2 years of which I've been on the team, we finally got our shit together. Pardon my French. Pardon my French. I'm very sorry. I know there's probably going to be children watching this. I'm very sorry. But we got it together. We released it. It is a shame that we couldn't have Ryan Murphy, who's been probably one of the greatest contributors to this project. The project was started by Corey Dugan, and I think I got your name right this time. But it was started by him and many years ago, and Ryan Murphy was added on, and then after a jumble of things, Ryan Murphy ended up doing a lot of work. He laid a lot of the track, and he took me on in August of 2011, and I was with them from that point on, and Ryan, the route wouldn't have gotten to this point without Ryan. And Merjax is his YouTube. You guys probably all know him if you're watching this. But he can't be reached at the moment. Can't be reached for a while. Hopefully he'll be able to be reached very soon. It's a shame that I had to do this without him, but I wanted to get this route out today because today, February 24th, is his birthday, and I figured what could I do for him that would be very meaningful and release, and I timed this release for his birthday. He might not know this. I don't think anybody knew this, but after we missed the December 12th release date, I just brought it into my mind that I wanted to get this out on his birthday because I knew it was on the 24th of February, and I made that happen. I'm sure there's going to be a few glitches, and I'm maybe even releasing a patch after I let it marinate for a while, but who knows? Who knows? Who knows? So on to what today's video is going to be talking about, and that is going to be, now that I've released the M2s with errors, of course, I need to get some more equipment out for the New Haven line route, and why not, what equipment other than the M8s, because we finally have M2s, a bit late because they're being retired, so need to get the modern equipment. And so I'm just going to be toying around in this video in my good friend Autodesk 3ds Max to just start toying around, I guess, with the creation of the shape. And I'm sorry about my ex-girlfriend up there. I'm going to have to wait for a moment to respond to her. Hope she doesn't hate me. But I'm just going to start off making a box. Say... make sure I'm in feet here. Customize unit setup. Use standard feet. Alright. So I'm gonna give it a length of 82 feet. Give some room for couplers. Give it a width of 10 feet loading width. And give it a 10-foot height. Just make it a box cube thing. How does this work out? Got so I've made what's going to begin to be the very basic shape of this, and I like to work with edged faces because it makes things a lot easier when I'm doing this. want to give it 2 height segments. I'm getting a text message from somebody. And so this is going to break the box up into 2 height segments, which is going to allow me to create the pinched shape of the convert to an editable poly. It's going to allow me to create the pinched in shape of the bottom of these of the car right there. So I'm going to say it goes up like 2.5, couple of feet at least before it breaks off. I can do this on the vertex level. And I can take these points and I can now drag them. I tend to not use a lot of exact measurements unless I know the exact measurements. When I start, I usually am just free-forming a lot of things. And to hell with it, I'm just going to actually get rid of a lot of the sides. And I'm just going to take this, bring it to 0. And there, I got the beginnings of the pinch in. And it's rounded. Going up to there, it is slightly rounded. So I'm going to do is I'm going to go and what I do to apply a rounding effect is I use the chamfer, and I can change the amount it's chamfered, and within that I can change the amount of segments to make it seem that it is slightly rotated. So I'm going to say 3 segments will probably be enough to cut it and make it look curved. However, I think it just needs to go in a bit more to reveal the full effect. And a lot of it is trial and error. If you will see me going over things 8-9 times just until I get them perfectly, or not necessarily perfectly, but the way that I would like them to be. So that right there is just the beginnings of the edge. And there's a slight lip now that comes off, which is the base metal color. And that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that, and I can select an edge, and I can drag it down, which will create the offshoot. A big feature of these is the door in the middle. So how I'm going to create the door is I'm going to start off with a box. Put in some parameters. How wide does this door look? This door looks like it is maybe 5 feet wide. Or maybe, let's say 6 feet actually. Or 5 feet. 5.5 feet. Yeah, it looks about right. Give it a height of, what does it look like? 7-8 feet, 7.5 feet, I'd say, maybe. So 7.5 feet. And width doesn't necessarily matter in this particular case, but I'm going to say just make it a 6-foot width. And what I can do is I can insert it in, and well, first the primary thing that I want to do is I want to give it as much definition as possible early on, so before I lose that definition as when I continue on. So I'm going to convert the box to an editable poly, which allows me to use a lot more tools, like I said before. And I'm going to select just all of the edges actually. And I'm going to apply again a chamfer. I'm going to say it chamfers about 5 inches. and give it 4 segments. A good kind of rule of thumb that I've kind of developed is, for the amount of inches that you're going to chamfer something, to create a nice curve, you're going to have 1 less segment than the chamfer is amounted to. So what that did is that rounded off the edges, and I don't necessarily, well, actually I don't think that that's enough. I'm going to say bring it to 6 inches, not feet. Or maybe even up to, well, not much more than 6. And it does not appear to be high enough, as it does not match here. So what I can do is I can bring it up, and bring it up to the point where it matches, which I would say about there. It's equal. Now, you're probably thinking, what is this crazy guy doing? He's got a block sticking out of the wall of the city, of this thing that he's making. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this perfectly in the middle, because so that I made it 82 feet long, so half of 82 is 41 to the end. So half of 41, half of 40 is 20, so 20.5 feet. Now that's at the exact middle. A lot of this is math. You got to run calculation, not even hard calculations, just standard arithmetic with measurements, and any of that will help you duly. So now that this is so now back to what I originally said. What's this crazy guy doing with the box sticking out? Well, what I can do is I can perform what is called a Boolean subtraction operation on that square, which what it will allow me to do is it will allow me to take that shape, and wherever it intersects with the body, it will remove it. So, right, just like that. Now I have a perfectly cut door hole. And with that door hole, excuse me. Now what I can do is I can before I can do anything else, I need to convert the wall back into an editable poly, and I need to select the border using the border selection tool, and I can hold down Shift, and it will extend the vertices out from that point. And it gets better there. After this is done, what I'm able to do is I can, well, actually I'm not going to do this. So I'm just going to leave this drawn in about 6 or so inches. And I have the door cut out. The next part, or next feature, is I'm not going to worry so much about these windows, because they're going to be different on either end. What I'm going to do is I'm going to worry about making the windows in the middle of the car. Alright, so before the midpoint of the model, there are 3 windows, which are equally spaced. And in order to do this the way I wish to do this, what I'm going to need to do is, again, use the box tool, and use that to create the window shape that is going to be a lot more freeform, and so So now I generally have the windows laid out the way I wish to have them laid out. And I'm going to do the same thing I did with the door. Maybe I'm just going to scrunch them up a little bit. And I'm going to do essentially the same thing that I did with the door. And I'm just going to take these and I'm going to... Oh. That is annoying. That is definitely annoying. Why is it doing that to me? I honestly have no idea why it's doing that. But, maybe it's because I used the instance thing. But, so now I'm just going to apply the same chamfer operation. And because I used instance, I normally don't use the instance tool. But because of the fact that I did use it, it's going to uniformly apply the same change to all of the shapes. And these are fairly curved. I would say maybe it even is a radius of 7, which would constitute 6. Or maybe I picked on that 5. Because this is all just going to equal polys in the end. Which now I believe is about done. So what I can do is, again, take the Boolean tool and do a subtraction operation. Or actually, no, bad idea. Always convert to an editable poly between these different operations that are being performed. And you can already see the polys being drawn to fill in the shape. And again, pick the last one. So that right there provides the window punch outs. In this particular case, these window punch outs, I can then use the border tool, select the borders, and I can well, this is causing some slight issues for me that I'll probably need to fix by hand. Yeah, the polys kind of got tangled up a little bit, for whatever reason. But it's not that big of a deal. So I can extend out the windows as well. So now with the doors and the windows extended out, what I'm able to do is I can take the entire shape and I can apply a mirror modifier to it. Now this is where it starts coming together. The model will start to exponentially compose itself. If I were to apply a mirror modifier, look at that. I already have this whole area complete. And if I were to apply another mirror modifier on top of that, with a copy, look at that. I already have the car part of the car body done, and it's as simple as going into the I can already apply well, after changing a few environment settings, like my background. I can already go in, do a quick render, and so that's just kind of a look into the way that I tend to go about my modeling. And I intend to definitely pop in from time to time with updates. I think this is a very solid video, and it's getting on being 25 minutes long. So take care, everybody. Until next time, this is Chris Rhodes.